And now it's time for the last keynote of the day, and I am personally really excited for this one. It will be a keynote by Mr. Sebastian Veldman, Global Metaverse Worker Lead, Center of Excellence at Accenture. And he will take us into the metaverse and explain how it will work for us. So please, put your hands together for Sebastian Veldman.
Hello everyone, what a great honor to be here and to represent some of my colleagues and the wider company of Accenture. I'm here to speak to you about a piece of technology that is really driving company culture and community for Accenture forward. The metaverse. The metaverse is here, it's here to stay, and it's going to change everything over the next decade. I'm going to show you today how it has made a tremendous impact in our organization over the last 2 years. When I speak about the metaverse continuum, I'm speaking about an evolving, expanding continuum of a set of technologies that are coming together to drive the next set of immersive experiences. It touches the consumer, the worker, the entire enterprise. We can experience these new, experiences throughout handheld devices that we have in our pocket, an iPhone, a tremendous powerful device, for instance, headsets, Oculus Quest headsets, for instance, or regular laptops in which we conduct our day-to-day activities. These experiences can be driven two-dimensionally, as we're used to with gaming, or three-dimensionally by wearing a headset. The convergence of a wide variety of technologies is making it possible nowadays for us to really drive the metaverse forward. And it's starting today, and it has evolved already tremendously rapidly. In 2013, during our annual Technology Vision update, we said every business is a digital business. And this year, during our Tech Vision launch, we said it, the metaverse continuum is here, and it's here to stay, and it will change everything over the decade to come. Now, what is the continuum? We see it as the evolution of the internet. While over the last 10 years, we were very much used to browse for information, just very passively scanning the web for all types of sources and information that we needed. Nowadays, it really has become about participating and inhabiting these persistent places. So I could go to a place virtually with my virtual identity, a virtual avatar, be there, have a place, buy a piece of property, exchange currency in all types of forms, and then revisit again and again and again. This is the metaverse continuum what we speak about. Now, how has this evolved? If we look back at the origin of the internet, initially we were just browsing for data. We had a tremendous opportunity with the rise of the internet to access a wide variety of data sources. In the decade to follow, that became the internet of people, building social connections, establishing relationships. I think one of the first networks I joined here in the Netherlands was Hives back then, if I remember correctly. The decade to follow, a wide variety of information sources became available to us throughout the Internet of Things. And nowadays, in the decade to come, we have arrived on the Internet of Place and the Internet of Ownership, or as we like to refer to it, form and function. The metaverse enables both form and function. As I said, everything will be impacted by the metaverse, but the key impact that we see right now, especially within Accenture, we're a company of over 700,000 people. 150,000 people over the last 2 years had their first day in the metaverse when joining Accenture. That is a tremendous amount. We could not have achieved that 10 years ago when Second Life made its appearance. Nowadays, with the maturity of technology, 150,000 people have their first experience on day one in the metaverse, and that evolves to week one in a wide variety of virtual experiences to meet their team, to make connections, and in year one to constantly educate and inspire on the art of the possible that this technology offers. There are three key use cases that we see when adopting the enterprise metaverse, which are working really well for Accenture. Onboarding new hires, as I mentioned, we've exceeded already 150,000 people in one Accenture Park. That is our own virtual world that is exclusively available for Accenture colleagues to meet and greet one another, to host meetings, or even invite clients in. As we would do physically in the office, we now can also virtually invite our clients into One Accenture Park or any of the other virtual worlds that we have built for our community. Learning. I have colleagues learning soft skills, which is conversational-based skills, in VR. Whether it's about sales techniques, effective feedback, diversion and inclusivity, we have platforms in VR that allow us to train people on soft skill development. At the same time, I also see a lot of my colleagues doing hard skill development in VR, which means using your hands in VR and placing yourselves in scenarios that might be too dangerous to visit in physical form or too costly. VR enables our colleagues to train themselves in virtual environments. But also immersive collaboration is a really exciting development. Using tools, like for instance, traditionally a marker for a design thinking session, nowadays we can expand that into these virtual worlds and bring teams that are globally distributed together in these persistent spaces. Now, right now, the metaverse is active within Accenture. People are meeting each other in small groups, big groups. We have town hall events in which our leaders take the stage and address, for instance, new joiners. We host trainings. We invite keynote speakers. We host all types of informative events, whether it's a partner event or a specific celebration. One Accenture Park or many of the other, let's say, locations we have available can be utilized by the click of a button. And the great thing is of the technology is it does not only require a headset. You can simply use your laptop like a regular gaming experience and access these environments as you would do on a regular Teams call. So having both access via these experiences through the laptop or a headset really makes it scalable nowadays to offer this enterprise-wide. Now, why do we recommend to start with talent experiences? Immersive talent experiences make a tremendous impact. They can be a differentiating factor when a candidate applies to your job and has comparing offers and showing them a different view of the company, really embedding them into the culture of the company, trying to position them in the day of a life of their future career and exposing them to all the great challenges they might face. VR is perfectly suited for that, and it's making a great impact for us on the recruitment front. At the same time, working in a three-dimensional world unlocks tremendous possibilities around creativity, because we can shape and form all these experiences in a completely different way than we would do traditionally two-dimensionally. Also, it's a driver of holistic change, because throughout the organization, especially what we've seen in the last 2 years, it requires change across all segments of the company. It's not just an IT play. It's a combination of HR, recruitment, marketing, and IT to come together and commonly understand how we can chase the business moving forward. One of the key drivers for us 2 years ago to start adopting this new onboarding experience for our new hires has been the pandemic. We were struggling to provide a scalable and consistent onboarding experience for our new joiners worldwide because of the restrictions we were facing. And very quickly, in the 3 to 6 months to follow, we were piloting One Accenture Park in one of our first countries. Nowadays, in over 47 countries, One Accenture Park is available for our recruitment teams to start welcoming new employees to these experiences. It's a great talent booster as well. I guarantee you, if you open LinkedIn right now and you look for the hashtag Accenture Moments, first day at Accenture, or anything in that relationship, you will see a virtual selfie of one of my colleagues who proudly says, I never imagined, for instance, on my first day to be in VR, or I've never thought that within my current job profile, I would learn how to, let's say, experience a VR training. These are constant set of imagery we're seeing on social media of pure excitement and happiness of our employees that are enjoying this whole new experience. So invest in talent experiences today, because it's the education and inspiration that you give to your colleagues to really start getting ready for the decade to come, where the metaverse will keep expanding. Now, as a CIO, as from an IT point of view, what does it really take to get started? We've created a framework that tackles three core, let's say, stages. First and upmost, and sorry for the typo, didn't look on my slide like that, but okay. The foundational components. There are 7 key work streams you need to consider before start exploring use cases enterprise-wide. The first one, which you will have struggle reading on this slide, is strategy and value realization. Really understanding and exploring the type of use cases you would like to conduct in these new environments to come. The second one, which you will see throughout your entire creation journey, responsible metaverse. In Accenture, we've created a unique framework that will tackle 8 dimensions to ensure when you're embarking on this new adventure, you do it safely and securely for your entire organization. More on that to come. Then there is platform support and setup, ensuring that from an IT point of view, your platform is ready to go and scalable throughout your entire organization. Device support. Within Accenture, when we started adopting a new headset, the Oculus Quest, we ordered 65,000 headsets of Oculus Quest 2s that have been distributed over the last year throughout to colleagues around the world. That is a new device that needs to be safely and securely managed within our organization. So it's a work stream to take very seriously as you have the ambition to scale up. Then there is end user support. I can tell you from the first experiences we had in VR, it's a big mistake to assume that people know how to work in VR. For many people who have no gaming experience or most likely have never even worn a headset before, I've seen people who were struggling to move their head in VR. They just didn't know. They didn't know what buttons to click or how to use the microphone. So end user support is key throughout the entire experience to help and ensure that trust is gained from day one. Because if you do not gain trust from the first experience onward, people will not use the technology moving forward. Then there is journey management. As I said, it's a change for the entire organization. So ensure there's an appropriate change and adoption plan available for your org to start shifting towards this new way of working. And then there is world foundation. These are completely new environments that your colleagues will be working in. So it requires certain craft to sculpt a new office. Only just now in the coffee break, a person in the coffee area showed me his phone in which his daughter gave him a digital twin of her office space, and he just pulled up his iPhone and he said like, oh, look at this. This is a 3D model of my daughter's workplace. And boom, here we were in his daughter's working place throughout the camera of his iPhone. Incredible. Once the foundational components are in place, you will build the foundational use cases. So collaborative activities like whiteboarding, agile practices, activities that work related to the platform that you've just, let's say, launched within your enterprise. Once that is established, you move on to the enterprise use cases. For us, for instance, that has been onboarding and talent experiences. But as the technology will evolve, additional use cases will emerge as well. I spoke about responsible metaverse. We have launched a unique framework that tackles 2 main dimensions, trust and human. Trust focuses on 4 things, ensuring privacy is maintained in this new experience. Resilience, that's robust enough to tackle the scope of the whole organization. Security and IPR protection. All key principles from an IT point of view that need to be maintained as you scale up. And human, is it safe? Sustainable in energy uses, well-being, are the activities well-time managed, and is it inclusive and accessible to all? 8 key dimensions to take into account as you go on your metaverse journey. I hope this has inspired you all. I really enjoyed being here in person, but also very much hopefully to see you all in virtual form. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for taking us all the way into the metaverse, Sebastian.